What's up, everybody? I'm back, man. Real quick, this is a fitness channel with a twist. Today's twist, I'm going to speak about something that was unbelievable. I caught my homeboy using the N-word. You already know how I feel about that and where I stand about that. So that will be today's twist, people. Make sure you stay tapped in to the end, okay? Before we move on anywhere, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. Share this channel. Make sure you hit the hype button. That hype button is absolutely beneficial. Another thing too, when I do my lives, for example, tomorrow's going to be a live, they don't give you that option to do the hype. You got to wait until it uploads, I guess. So go back to my live and hit the hype. It would be highly appreciated, people. Okay, so with that being said, there was something else I needed to say, but it slipped my mind. Maybe I'll think of it during the middle of the thing, because you know how I tend to ramble on, people. I'm the rambler, baby. It is what it is. But anyways, people, let me give you a little breakdown on what I do. I'm a full-time online fitness coach. I help people change their lives. I have a program that is guaranteed to work. 3 different stages, 3 different levels of the program. You got the 90-day, where you can lose up to 30 pounds of fat and build muscle at the same time. You have the 6-month. The 6-month is where you get dialed in. Dialed in is meaning you're already starting to look chiseled. You chipped away at all the fat on your body, and you understand the science behind what you're doing. It becomes a lot easier. Now, the 1-year program is to get ripped and fit. You know what I'm saying? That really gets you on point. May not be for everybody. I'll give you an example. I had an individual, my team member, which I still consider part of my team. He signed up just for the nutritional part. I actually have a few people that's just signed up for the nutritional part, and they are still considered part of my team. They still get the full benefits, me coaching them. You know, obviously I won't customize any workouts for them. They're going to have to do that on their own. So with that being said, people, like I said, I put together a guaranteed program that works for you. I customize your workouts, daily workouts that I track on my personalized training app. I dial in your nutrition. We get you on point with your nutrition, and I'm also able to track that on my personalized training app as well. Very important, people. Once a week we do weigh-ins. Every other week we do progress pictures. And the pictures are very important for me to have. That way I know that you're not out there fiddle-diddling. Because someone could talk a good talk. Kind of like the way these individuals are here on social media. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? People got to get to gab, baby. Well, anyways, if you want to get started, hit me up. It's High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Now let's get straight to the twist, people. This particular incident is taking place at a reception center. Okay, I'm not going to say no names, just for the safety of certain individuals. Let's just title this individual as, let's give him the name of Little Rob. Little Rob, okay? So happened I was at a location. I'm not going to give the location of the reception center. Times have changed, you know what I mean? Disciplinary actions have changed as well, because now people are getting beat up, getting boo-bopped. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've always preached, I don't go against the grain. I respect what's going on behind those walls. And the reason is because I'm just a guest there. You know what I mean? I'm a guest, and I'm just there doing my thing. You know, whatever's asked of me, and, you know, I carry my weight. That's it. No more, no less. So anyways, I was at a particular prison, and was there for a while. I started to see the way things were ran, the way they ran their program. Happened to notice a lot of people getting boo-bopped. So it carried on from the county to the joint. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, this is something new to me. You know what I mean? Because, you know, during my time when a homie messed up, you got poked. You know what I mean? That was your check. Yeah, that right there. That was make, hey, homie, you better get right or you're going to get more. You feel me? That's the way we used to check people. So times have changed, people, and like I said, you got to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go with the flow, then keep your ass out of jail, keep your ass out of prison. Feel me? Because no one's bigger than the program. Well, anyways, as time progresses, I ended up staying here for a while because I guess they didn't have bed space for me. I stood at this, man, it was almost a whole year at the reception center. That was unheard of, you know what I mean? I remember back in the day, man, they would have bed space everywhere, but guess not, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, I believe it was like 90 days, maybe the most you've ever heard of was maybe 4.5 months or something like that. But I was there almost a whole year at this reception, okay? So it is what it is, you know what I mean? While during my time, I get to know people, we get to chopping it up, and, you know, as always, in any place where you're doing time behind them walls, you know, or behind the wire gates, whatever, wire fences, I should say wire gates, electric fences, whether it be the condado or upstate, you know what I'm saying, in the state. You tend to have your intermediate people that you roll with, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because you guys are basically like-minded. And yeah, I know a lot of people like to say that, yeah, you need to get close to your enemies, but you see, you can't go in there with that attitude of predicting that everybody's your enemy right there. You know what I mean? You gotta give the homie the benefit of the doubt that he's got your back. You know what I mean? Obviously, you gotta be aware of what's going on and the way they behave, because that will reflect a lot on the way his performance is going to be if he's needed in the time of war. So anyways, people, like I said, I happen to be there and I see a lot of things the way they be checking people, okay? Well, buses come in, birthday cards come in, you know what I mean? And if you guys, you know what, I shouldn't even get into detail about that, but birthday cards come in. So basically there's a formula, a system that we use, a formula to kind of like, it's kind of like a, how do they call that thing, where they check to see how many people are living out here in the free world. I forget the name of it, I can't think of it right away, but it's something similar to that, you know what I mean? Just to keep track of the population control, not keep track of, well, keep track of it, yeah, not to control it, but just to keep track of who's around you, you know what I mean, and in your near surroundings. Man, I can't think of the name for that. They do it like every few years out here, you know what I mean? They go around and ask how many people are living in your house and all that. So anyways, that's here nor there. Like I said, I've been there for a while. While it happens pop up, I notice an individual's name, and bam, he pops up exactly where I'm at. Now, let me bring to your attention, people, this place where I'm at, I landed in a dorm. It's you know, a lot of people, they have them dorm livings too that look like blocks, cell blocks, and then they got some with the cell doors, you know what I mean? This was an actual dorm, you know what I mean? So I landed there, and you have a lot of freedom, you know what I mean, to walk around and get your mingle on. As long as the program's running, you're good. So anyways, I want to fast forward this because this story will go on for a long time. Well, long and behold, I see the new cats that's coming in. I'm off in the back, you know, sitting on my rack, you know, doing my thing, and I happen to notice my homeboy, Little Rob. Like I said, we're naming him Little Rob, okay, for just to protect the innocent, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say, and keep in mind, this is the real story here, people. I ain't over here talking out the side of my motherfucking neck. This is the real deal, okay? Well, anyways, let's fast forward a little bit. The homie gets settled in, boom, boom, boom. Obviously, he's gonna try to fill in to see what's going on, who's who, and this and that. So he ended up at my bunk. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, I'm nobody. I am nobody, people. Anytime that I was given a position behind them walls, it was a blessing. That's the way I took it. It was an honor, you know. But at the end of the day, basically, it's like taking on a really big headache, you know. So do the math, people. You know what I mean? You know. But like, yeah, I can't get into that detail about that. But anyways, so he ended up landing up my bunk, man. So, you know, boom, I haven't seen the homie in years, okay? You got to keep in mind, my homeboy right here was one of my homeboys that was with me when I got one of my first tats, you know? So he moved out of the city. I'm not going to say why, but the family relocated. Maybe it had to do with housing, cheaper prices or something, but they actually own their property right there in the hood. But they, you know, I know exactly why, but I'm not going to say, you know what I mean? Because, you know, sometimes you lose family members and it's time to move elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's as far as I'll go with that. So he relocated, and I hadn't seen him in years, man. And we got to chopping it up. You know what I mean? Of course, I broke him off with the homie care package and all that. The homies took care of him as well. This is after he got settled in and stuff and had to do his questioning about what's going on around here and who's who. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he ended up on my bunk. We ended up chopping it up, doing our thing. And I happened to notice he uses that N-word. And I said, hey, homie, don't use that word, homie. And he's all like, this is the way he came at me. Orale, homie, what, you're going to act like that? And it's the same mentality from back in the day when we were younger, that same attitude. What the fuck? It's just a word, homie. You know what I mean? And this is the way he talks too. I said, no, homie, we don't conduct ourselves like that. It's not allowed here. Okay, so you got to either get with the program, homie, or you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, it's like that. I said, yes, it is like that, homie. You know what I mean? I love you. You're my homeboy and all that, but you can't be using that, homie. If the little homies from South Central are able to strike their tongue from using it, the ones that did use it, there's no excuse why you can't use it, homie. Because you grew up in my hood. You just relocated. You relocated out towards the, I think, IE, San Bernardino area, out that way. Now you're coming with a whole different lingo. You know what I mean? It's mixed, though. He's still got the homie stilo, but with using that N-word. And you guys already know the way I feel about that. I frown upon people that use that N-word. It's a derogatory word. But anyway, so he said, okay, he agreed. He's going to do his thing. And I noticed in time, fast forwarding here, he's a very likable homie. Let's put it this way. So he gained a younger audience with him, a younger little crowd, let's just say. And the crowd that I mentioned this one individual too. I'm not going to say where he's from, but he was spoiled and he used to have spreads and then called the homie at the end to clean it up. And I got pissed off at him for doing that because that's wrong, homie. And I explained to him why he shouldn't be doing that type of shit. You know, so anyways, he gained his little audience, his little crew, get whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And then I would see him, you know what I mean? I said, look at this vato. He's looking for his youth, you know what I mean? He's not that youngster no more, but it's all good, you know what I mean? He still stop by the pad right there and go visit me. You know, what I'm referring to, you people that don't understand it, my bunk is my pad, my area. That's my pad. So he would stop by still, you know, give me his saludos, you know, his buenos dias, buenos noches, and all that stuff. But low-key, he's still behaving the same way, right? Because I used to walk by and, you know, just do my thing, you know what I mean? It's not like I was out looking for people to be... that were doing things wrong, you know what I'm saying? So I actually heard the homie using the word again, and he was like using it frequently. I'm like, damn, what is this? This fucking voice sounds familiar. Well, I look over and yeah, it's the homie. He's using the word with the youngsters, and they're getting their kicks, their laughs, and this and that. And I said, okay. So when I went about doing my thing, did my rutina on my way back to the pad, I called him. I said, hey, come over here real quick. Come and listen to this. Let's chop it up real fast. And we went and sat down. He said, what's up, homeboy? What's up? I said, what's going on? Everything good? I said, yeah, it's all good, homie. And we're trying to keep it that way. But I just happened to notice that you're over there using that word again, homie. Come on, homie. You're representing me right here, homeboy. You know what I mean? I said, you can't be doing that shit, Kanan. I'm telling you right now, you cannot do that, homie. Don't try to use no trump card here, homie. You know what I mean? Don't try to use me as a credit card where you're gonna be able to fly through and do that, homie. There's zero tolerance for that, homeboy. So this is your last warning right now. Fuck, like that? Yeah, yes, like that, homie. I said, all right, Kanan. So I gotta get ready. I'm gonna go shower up and shit. Boom. He takes off, does his thing. Time goes by. Let's fast forward. Time goes on. Catch me still doing it. This time I don't tell him nada. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, nobody's bigger than the program, homie. And you know, this obviously my homeboy, he tried to use that as a juice card, thinking that it was okay, all fine and dandy. So long story short, you know, we have ways of setting things up in there, and I'm not going to put it out there, even though other content creators love to put out fucking detailed the way we do things in there. I frown upon people that do that shit. So anyways, we set it up, and out of the blues, I called him. Hey, come here. Got to talk some serious shit to you real quick, homie. Real shit. And what's up, homie? He goes, hey, don't say I haven't been using that word. Come on, my boy, you're gonna sit here and lie to me now? Cut it out, homeboy. You're better than that. He still has that same manias from when we were younger, you know what I mean? A lot of denial in him. Good homeboy, you know what I mean? He just, you know, he moved out the hood and picked up a different vernacular. But basically what he was trying to do, he figured he could get away with it. You know what I mean? Use a juice card. That wasn't happening, man. You can't play favoritism, even though there's a lot of that goes on a lot. I'm telling you, and I despise people that do that shit, man. But like I said, I don't go against the grain, and I'm not gonna question anybody. It is what it is because karma's a motherfucker. Well, anyways, karma came and bit my homeboy in the motherfucking ass. I go, hey, check it out, homie. Right now, once they open up for the main day room, I need you to go back there to the back, homie. The homie's got to go talk to you. What? Like that? Yes, like that, homie. So the homie went and got a DP'd, homie. Straight up. I had to set an example. How would I look by letting the homie ride? That would make me look soft. In my eyes, that'll make a person look soft. Like, what the fuck? This vato, you know, he's willing to push what's going on right here, the reglas with everybody else, but not his own homeboy. Yeah, so, you know, no one's bigger than the program. So right there, that's the story I wanted to tell you guys, man. This happened with my own homeboy. This is the only homeboy that I've ever heard use the N-word. And what caught me off guard is because he's my age. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, why is this homie? But then I understand because he moved away to a different area. I'm not going to say, but I know exactly which one it is, but let's say it's out there in the IE San Bernardino area out that way, you know. It is what it is. Go figure it out where the homies use that word a lot out there. That's where he picked it up at. So to me, he picked up a bad mania. And he obviously had to have what he had coming to him, you know, because there's no favoritism when it comes to me, you know what I mean? Because what is right and what is wrong. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think you are. If you're going against the grain, and basically that was going against the grain, you know what I'm saying? You have to be dealt with. And that's for everything here on social media. If I'm going to see something that's wrong, and what is right and what is wrong, hey, I'll speak on it. I'll call it out. It is what it is. My homie took his motherfucking beat down, came back, shook his visa, boom. That was that. After that, he never used it again. Whether he's using it this present day, wherever he's at, he probably is. But I tell you one thing, he didn't use it anymore during the time that I was right there. You know what I'm saying? After the fact, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're gone, you got to continue with your journey. You know, so that's just an example of people, how people will try to take advantage of certain individuals that have something to do with just, how should I say, keeping things in order there. And keep in mind, I'm nobody. You know, I just made sure that everything was, I was assisting to make sure that things were ran the way they were supposed to be ran, you know. So the homie got he got his ass delivered to him. It's just like a real one should. You know, I shook his visa, gave him a hug, ya estuvo. That was the end of that. Now, real quick, man, if you guys want to hear this other story, there's certain individuals, okay, at this same location that try to go against the grain low key. They got caught up and found themselves in the back. And when I went to go, and trust me, I wasn't the type that would go over there and watch because I wasn't in this shit for entertainment purposes. You know what I mean? Anybody that got caught doing that would have something coming straight up because that's very disrespectful. We're over there disciplining a homie and it's not for entertainment purposes. Even the other races wouldn't watch. They would create a wall. You know what I mean? Just so a little extra noise so it doesn't, you know, stand out. Well, anyways, I remember this one incident, this one individual, he had what he had coming. He lied to me in my face, straight lied to me in my face. And when I reached out to shake his visa, he walked right by me. That's a straight form of disrespect. That's basically telling me, fuck you. So I told him, hey, can I go back there and get the rest of it? Should have been happy that you got a soft one. Feel me? Now you tripled it up, baby. It is what it is, baby. Don't ever think you're bigger than the program because nobody is. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Stop talking about it. Start being about it. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, hit me up. It's highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, baby. Come on now. It might be some, I'm going to refrain from saying that. The proof is in the pudding, baby. Let's do this.
Yeah. It's Coach Pedro in the building. High Power Fitness. We don't talk about it. We be about it. West Coast vibes. Real grind, real game, let's go. Rolling up early, sun ain't even rise yet. Mindset locked in, goal set, no regrets. Weights clank loud like a war zone echo. Discipline the weapon, every rep is a death blow. From the struggle to the hustle, we built this empire. No shortcuts, just sweat, pain, and fire. Nutrition dialed in, body sharp like a blade. Mental game strong, never fold, never fade. High power, we rise, we grind, we shine. West Coast still in the soul, heart in the line. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code. Coach Pedro got the blueprint, now watch it explode. High power, we rise, we grind, we shine. West Coast still in the soul, heart in the line. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's the code. Coach Pedro got the blueprint, now watch it explode. No gimmicks, no fluff, just truth and grit. Every setback's a setup for a comeback hit. We break limits, crush vices, elevate the mind. High power's the movement, leave the weak behind. From the streets to the gym, it's the same mentality. Respect, loyalty, strength, that's reality. So if you ready to transform, step in the zone. This ain't just fitness, it's a kingdom, a throne. High power, we rise, we grind, we shine. West Coast still in the soul, heart in the line. Don't talk about it, be about it.